Chris Palme here, radio host of Live with CDP Sports Talk on WQEE 99.1 FM and also on CKRT Border City Radio here in Windsor, Ontario. And tonight I'm at Crossbody Pro Wrestling at 132 North Argo Street here in Cambridge. And I have a special guest tonight, and he's one half of the Crossbody Tag Team Champions of the World, Travis Moore. Travis, thoughts on your match tonight?
Tonight it was us versus Matt, Grant, and Crystal Moon, me and my partner Grizz. It's a tough match, really tough. My chest is red, if you can see that, and it's I love a challenge, so it made me really happy to be able to do this match. And I've known Matt and Crystal my whole career, so almost 5 years now. So I'm stoked with the result and everything, being able to defend my belt and Grizz's belt. And, yeah.
What makes Matt Grant and Crystal Moon, the defending women's champions, so dangerous as opponents?
That's a good question. For Matt, I think it's the fact that he's been in wrestling for so long, not even just as a wrestler. He was also a referee for a short bit, and he used to do podcasts at shows. He was around wrestling for so long that he got to experience and learn just by watching. And Crystal Moon, I'd say, is unpredictability and ruthlessness. She's very in your face, and that's something I respect about her. You got to respect it. You know what I mean?
Congratulations on winning the Crossbody Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Who did you guys defeat, and what was that like becoming the champions?
We defeated Dynasty, so the team of Mikey Truth and Jackson Roy, at the anniversary show. And we felt like we didn't properly beat them because Mikey kicked out last second and literally right after 3. So I was a bit angry because I didn't feel like we didn't properly beat them. But the next time we get to wrestle them, I'm really excited to finally actually properly beat them.
Thoughts on doing these open challenges and not having time to prepare for whoever comes out?
My thought on that is really just we need to keep ourselves on the top of our toes and make sure we're at the top of our game. So seeing opponents come out and people that we don't predict to come out, like our first open challenge, it was Quiet Kids, so Nilo Reyes and Laurel Cassidy. I'm decent friends with Laurel. I respect the heck out of Nilo. I don't want to swear. And seeing them come out, I was like, oh, this is exciting. This is something different, and then this week it was Matt and Crystal, and I was like, this is awesome. We could just keep this going, and we're gonna just keep doing it until someone manages to be tough enough to beat us. Well,
it's one thing to be contenders and one thing to be champions. Just tell us how much difficult it is being the champion instead of being the contenders in wrestling.
I think the cliche really is there's always a target on your back, and it's completely true. The second you walk in the locker room, me and Grizz, we travel from different ways, right? I'm from the Garden City. He's from the Schaumburg area. So when we get in, we go in one at a time, but we see everyone staring at us as we walk in because we know they want those belts. Every tag team guy wants those belts. Even the guys that are doing singles right now, they want to find someone and just take the belts off of us. And we were the same way. We were doing singles stuff before we became a tag team, and we're just Grizz is one of my best friends. So we just decided the one day we're like, you know what? We should totally tag, and we'll figure out it as we go along. But the second we prove that we can do this, we're going to win those tag belts, and we're not letting go of those anytime soon.
What's your biggest strength as a tag team, in your opinion?
Our big strength is probably that's a really good question. Our biggest strength, I think, is our diversity between us. Grizz is 6'4", 300-something pounds, right? I'm 5'3", 150 pounds, right? So it's a very different vibe between the two of us, and we have very different styles. Obviously, he goes for more of the big man stuff. I go more the submission striking route. Seeing the difference really helps us strategize even in that moment. You know, if you watch tonight, we realize that, oh, okay, they're smaller than us. Both of us, we can just kind of power them around. But if it's like bigger guy, I'll be like, all right, Grizz, you go in there, you do all the power work against them. Try and have two antlers going against each other, and then when they need me to come in and outspeed them, I come in, I do my job. So it's our diversity, really.
And finally, who were some of your wrestling influences that got you into wrestling? And quick thoughts on WrestleMania 40 this weekend in Philadelphia.
Okay, so I'll start with the first question there. My biggest influences, it's like people you wouldn't expect. Edge is a really big one for me. Edge is my favorite wrestler of all time. I would say Gresham is another big one. Mysterio is an obvious one. Brian Kendrick, Paul London, all those guys, like the smaller guys. And then there's the Edge, and I was a big fan of Undertaker as a kid too. Like I love people like that. For WrestleMania 40, I'm really excited about it. I'll be honest, I think I watched last WrestleMania with my girlfriend Gia, and we were kind of disappointed at the end with Cody losing to Roman. And then we were like, oh, it has to be this year. Like, Cody has to win that belt, right? It doesn't matter if Rock's there. It doesn't matter if Seth does something. Cody needs that belt. And then Roman can do his own thing. Maybe the bloodline will beat up on him because he loses the belt. You never know. And, like, that's the most exciting part about wrestling, I think, is you never know what's going to happen.
And finally, what do you prefer, heel or babyface? And where can my audience follow you on social media and your next match?
Okay, so firstly, I prefer like you're asking me what I prefer being. I prefer being a heel because I'm more in control of the match, and that's not me being like greedy. It's just like more I feel it's easier for me to strategize what's going on because I don't have to follow the rules really, right? I still follow the rules, but I do it a little bit more sneaky when I break the rules, right? And then for social media, I changed it recently, so give me a second. Instagram is at Travis Moore, LMM for Little Mer Machine, and for Twitter, it's _Travis Moore. And my next match will be next Saturday in Hamilton at the Germania Club for Pro Wrestling Ontario. Guys that got me my start in wrestling. It'll be me and Justin Newhook, the Newfoundland Nightmare. And it will be a fun match. That'll be somewhere where you can see me work a little bit more as a heel.
All right. Well, Travis Moore, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. Continued success in your wrestling career.
Thank you very much, sir.